You skipped breakfast because you wanted to be healthier. You cut sugar. You bought expensive supplements. And somehow, you still felt tired by afternoon. Your clothes fit differently. Your energy disappeared. Your blood tests looked normal. But your body kept telling you something was wrong. If that sounds familiar, you're not failing. Your body may have been following instructions you never knew it received. And here's the question almost nobody asks. What if the healthiest habits you've been forcing every day are quietly sending the wrong signals to your cells? Not because those habits are always bad, because biology depends on timing more than intention. Most people never realize this. Your body isn't a calculator counting healthy choices. It's a communication network interpreting thousands of chemical messages every minute. When those messages become confused, your cells stop cooperating. That's when healthy people begin feeling unhealthy. Here's the part nobody talks about. Your body has only one job: keep you alive. Not energetic, not lean, alive. If your cells sense stress, uncertainty, or inconsistent signals, they don't reward you with more energy. They protect themselves. They slow repair. They conserve resources. They become cautious. I know, that sounds strange. Stay with me, because this changes everything. Think about a city after a major storm. Construction crews don't start building beautiful parks. They repair bridges, protect hospitals, restore electricity. Only after safety returns do they begin improving the city. Your cells think exactly the same way. When they detect danger, every repair project gets postponed. Healthy skin, strong muscles, balanced hormones, sharp memory, those become secondary priorities. The surprising part is, many of the danger signals aren't obvious. Poor sleep, constant snacking, psychological stress, irregular meal timing, even endless exposure to bright light late at night. Each one whispers the same message to your biology. Don't spend energy rebuilding. So your body doesn't. Not because it can't, because it believes it shouldn't. Here's what changes everything. Scientists at the Salk Institute and researchers around the world have spent years uncovering how our internal biological clocks influence repair, metabolism, and longevity. They found something remarkable. Your cells don't simply respond to food. They respond to when food arrives, to when light reaches your eyes, to when movement happens, to when rest begins. It's less like feeding a machine and more like conducting an orchestra. Every section has to enter at precisely the right moment. One instrument playing early can throw off the entire performance. Your biology works the same way. Here's where it gets counterintuitive. Most people believe eating healthy automatically activates repair. Sometimes, it does the opposite, especially if your cells never receive permission to switch from growth mode into maintenance mode. And that permission depends on one extraordinary pathway: AMPK. Think of AMPK as the city's emergency energy manager. When energy becomes scarce for a short period, AMPK walks through every neighborhood saying, pause unnecessary spending, clean up damaged equipment, repair what already exists. That's when your cells begin housekeeping. Damaged proteins get recycled. Old cellular components are removed. Energy production becomes more efficient. It's one reason researchers became fascinated with fasting, exercise, and metabolic flexibility. Not because deprivation is magical, because the temporary signal activates repair. Here's the critical thing to understand. Repair isn't triggered simply by eating less. It's triggered by the right combination of biological signals. And that's exactly where millions of people unknowingly interrupt the process. They activate AMPK, only to silence it before the real work even begins. What happened next surprised researchers. And once you understand the tiny daily habit responsible, you'll never look at healthy living the same way again. And that's where everything changes. The invisible enemy isn't always sugar. It isn't always fat. It isn't even one specific food. It's constant stimulation. Your body was never designed to stay in fed mode from sunrise until bedtime. A handful of nuts, a protein bar, a healthy smoothie, another coffee with cream. Each one seems harmless. Together, they keep sending the same message. Resources are still coming. Keep growing. That message is carried through a pathway called mTOR. Think of mTOR as the foreman of a construction crew. When building materials keep arriving, the crew keeps expanding the city. New walls, new roads, new buildings. Growth is essential. Without mTOR, you couldn't heal wounds or build muscle. But here's what they didn't expect. If construction never pauses, cleanup never begins. Broken machinery stays where it is. Damaged proteins pile up. Old cellular parts remain inside the factory. The city becomes larger, but less efficient. That's why Nobel Prize-winning research by Yoshinori Osumi transformed how scientists think about healthy aging. His work helped reveal the importance of autophagy, the cell recycling system that becomes active when growth finally slows. It wasn't a lack of discipline. Your body was responding exactly as it was designed to. Here's the practical part that matters. Start your morning with natural sunlight within the first hour after waking. Even 10 minutes helps. Why? Because light resets your internal clock, lowers confusion inside your brain, and prepares hormones to rise and fall at the right times. Then move. Not an exhausting workout, a brisk walk, a few minutes of resistance training, enough to gently activate AMPK and remind your muscles that they're needed. Before your first meal, drink water. If you enjoy coffee, have it without loading it with sugar. The goal isn't punishment. It's giving your cells a brief window to finish overnight maintenance before switching fully into growth mode. At midday, build your largest meal around real protein: eggs, fish, Greek yogurt, chicken, or legumes if you prefer plant-based meals. Add colorful vegetables. Include healthy fats like olive oil or avocado. Why? Protein supplies amino acids for repair. Vegetables deliver polyphenols that help protect cells from oxidative stress. Healthy fats support hormone production and keep blood sugar steadier. Here's the part nobody talks about. Your evening routine may matter even more than your morning. Finish eating 2 to 3 hours before bed whenever possible. Dim bright lights. Put distance between yourself and endless scrolling. Your brain interprets darkness as permission to begin nighttime repair. Deep sleep then supports hormones that restore tissues, strengthen memory, and prepare your metabolism for the next day. Clean first, rebuild second, repeat. That's how biology has always worked. And here's the most encouraging truth. None of these habits needs to be perfect. They stack. One good morning makes the next one easier. One restful night improves tomorrow's decisions. One balanced meal helps your cells respond better to the next. Healthy living isn't about chasing perfection. It's about giving your biology the signals it has been waiting for all along. Because your body was never fighting against you. It was listening. And once you learn the language it understands, everything begins to change. One cell, one day, one decision at a time. But one powerful longevity molecule still determines how efficiently those repaired cells actually produce energy. And most people start losing it after 40 without realizing why. What researchers discovered about that molecule could completely change the way you think about aging, and that's exactly what we'll uncover in the next episode.